Stories of Cats. Hey guys, welcome to Picture Book Drama, where it is everything in entertainment. I am your host, Sean, your video and comic guru. With me, as always, is Blackie the Cat. Love him to death. As you can see, this is my Road to C2E2 videos. I love C2E2. Excuse me. It's one of the few cons I go to, that and Fan Expo. So it's like, for me, 2 cons a year, it's like you really, for me, it's like Christmas and New Year's. You know, it's an explosion of things going on. You get to be around, people with the same like mind as you. And it's just a joy to be there. Last year I was a little too sick. I kind of came in there and I don't even really remember being there. To be honest with you, last year was really, really bad. This year hasn't been that great either. But I feel amazing right now. I got my pass for Saturday, so hopefully if you guys are going and you see me, let me know. Hey, be part of the C2E2 video if you want. You don't have to. Just say hi if you want. I will be there and just enjoying life. Look for the guy with the biggest smile on his face. That's going to be me. But reason why I'm doing the Road to C2E2 videos are to basically buy the books I need before C2E2. If that makes sense. I really do buy a lot of comics, and I've just slowly been letting the comics fund my hobby. So I have a lot of duplicate copies, which I'll have a lot from this, and I sell them in lots. I don't sell them individually. I sell them in a lot, unless they're like a big key. Then I might try to sell them individually, but I haven't really jumped full bore. I don't even know what the real phrase is. Haven't really jumped into it yet, 100%. I just did a few things here and there with some people I knew. So a lot of the duplicates that I had from this lot are almost completely gone because they were good friends to me when I first started. So hey, had to give them that love too. But this is a collection that I spent $600 on. So it's the equivalent of 6 short boxes. And if I'm correct, short boxes hold, depending on the thickness, if they're like a 100-pager compared to a regular like 32-page, it'll differ, even though that really does not factor into what I have here. It will affect the size, but I figure this is about 100 to 100 and maybe 15 books per box for what I'm showing you today. I'm hoping to be able to do the DC books in one video, Marvel in another. So it's like I said, it's the equivalent of 6 boxes, so 3 per video. And it should be pretty quick once we start going into it because I bought in sets. That's one of the things that I really wanted to do prior to C2E2 was not have to look for like the more common books, if that makes sense, from the 80s. Or other things that I could get in dollar bins when they do pop up. But dollar bins, even though they're great, takes time. I'm not really that guy who does the hunting around a lot because I don't have a lot of time. So when I was contacted with this person from Facebook Marketplace, first time I ever bought something from there, I will definitely do it again. This video will be on Facebook, it will be on YouTube, other platforms, but understand I'm not rich. I'm not even well off, to be honest. I'm letting the comics fund my hobby, so I let a lot of these duplicates build up, then I'll sell off, what I have, use that, and then I can buy other books I want. Hence, funding your hobby. But I am looking for certain things. After C2E2, I'll do a video about what I'm looking for. I'm not going to do one now because we're too close to that happening, which is April 11th, 12th, and 13th. For sure, I will be there April 12th. Hopefully you guys will be there, and if you do, hey, come up, give me a big old hug. I ain't got no problem with that. Say hey, just say hi. That'd be cool. If you want to be a part of the video, because I am going to be obviously filming there. And I'm hoping to go Saturday and Sunday, but Saturday for sure. But Other than that, the books I'm going to show you again are my childhood things that I really wanted to complete. They're not going to be big boy keys or anything like that. I'll just tell you that flat out. There are a lot of books that are near and dear to my heart. Books that came out, and if I'm rambling on or going against the other thing, I'm just really coming to the end of this before we go there. So these are the books that I loved. These are the books that I wanted to complete. Other books were just luck of the draw. They were there, and he kind of threw them in. Basically threw in about almost a short box worth of books, which was just amazing. So with no more talking, we're going to cut over and we're going to show you, me and the kitty, I'm going to show you from these boxes what I picked up. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. If again, please subscribe, like, comment. Let me know what you guys think. See you in a second. Alright guys, we're going to try and get through this. As you can see, I have titled this The Road to C2E2 because I love C2E2. I have been going, this will be my 9th year. I can't wait. It's one of the few cons I go to other than Fan Expo. As you can see, I have my pass for Saturday, so hopefully I see you guys there. If so, again, give me a big old hug. Let me know you're there. If you want, you can even be in the video I'm going to be making. So hopefully I'll see you guys there. But I'm a man of many layers. I don't just collect comic books. I love Hot Wheels. But I am very specific. I usually collect either comic book or movie related just because it makes it a lot easier and takes up less space. They don't cost a ton of money all the time, but I got this 5-pack here. Probably the 3rd one in the series they've done so far. Really do enjoy that. I like the fact that you don't have to take them out. You can actually display them just as they are. So $5.99. Can't go wrong. And I ended up picking up this variation on the Adam West 66 Batmobile. I don't get to go out to pick these up a lot, so maybe at C2E2 I will hopefully be able to pick up a few if I remember. And then I also got this one. This is the, go back a bit, the Arkham Asylum Batmobile. Is this a variation or is this the original one? Because I thought the original one was black. This is just a really dark blue. So let me know. Not bad for $1.50. But on to the collection again. Quick recap. Hooked up with someone on, well, a seller contacted me on Facebook Marketplace that I had seen. I guess I kind of contacted them first. Heat's on. Sorry guys, it's cold here in Chicago and it's raining. Sorry. But we basically came up with a great deal of $600 for the equivalent of 6 short boxes worth of comic books. This first box to show you, I gave you a great idea of the books and the caliber of books that I picked up. A few are just odds and ends he just threw in. This is one of them, or these are 2 of them I should say. This is the Eclipso, The Darkness Within. This is part 1. It is actually a 2-part series. So hopefully I can find part 2 sometime, but I'm not going to run out and get it. But it does have the jewel in it right there. The jewel usually pops out after a while. The glue just wears off. So that was kind of cool to see it still intact. And then the other one was just, again, just something he threw in. This is DC Nation issue 0. This is leading into the Batman and Catwoman wedding. I'm not sure the other 2. I know the one on the left is a Justice League tie-in, but I'm not sure what series. And obviously a Superman tie-in on the right. But very nice. I enjoy it. And it was free, so who could say no? Now, jumping into the boxes, I'm going to try and go through these as quick as possible. Again, if you wouldn't mind, please hit that subscribe and like button. Leave me a comment. If you are selling certain sets of titles from the 80s that you don't see here, hit me up. I might actually be looking for them. If you're local, that's even better. Again, here in the Chicago area, I don't own a car, but I can still meet you and, hey, we can still make a deal, just like I did here. These are the full 5-issue series from Firestorm, his first series. First appearance, But this is the one that everyone wants, is the first appearance of Killer Frost. Now, these aren't in great shape. The Killer Frost is amazingly in the best shape. So if I don't grade books, but I mean, it just has a little fold up here in the top. Otherwise, it's actually very good compared to all the rest, which look kind of beat up. Then we go into Firestorm. Now, just to be really fast about this, I pretty much purchased, and make sure that these are being seen properly, give it a little turn, it might help, is, yeah, that's better. Pretty much every issue of Firestorm, except for 2 issues. I believe that's issue 35 and 91. This does come with all the annuals, which I believe are 5 annuals in total. But I loved Firestorm when he first came out. This series came out in, I believe, 81. I could be so wrong on that. That just came out the top of my head. I'm not sure why I said 81, but it might be. Who knows? Because he is pre-Crisis on Infinite Earth. This is one of those series that is falling under that umbrella of it existed prior to Crisis on Infinite Earth. I mean, I love the series of having a character who was 2 people in one. So it's like, you had, that duality of like, what's the other person doing when you become Firestorm? What if you do something when they're like in mid-flight, or, they're on an airplane, or, in a concert? Who knows? That's a lot of explaining to do, Lucy. I was yammering because we do have issue 24, the first appearance of Blue Devil. Love this. Love it. But I'm not going through like every issue number because, again, like I said, this is every issue of Firestorm. Volume 1, which is the miniseries 1 through 5. Volume 2, which is this one that I'm showing you. Every issue of Volume 2 except issue 35 and 91. And actually, we will see just how correct I am as we get closer to 35. We're at number 33 right now. 34. Be amazing if it wasn't there and I forgot. But I did not. We are still missing number 35. But again, it won't just bore you with every single issue. You do have milestone issues, like issue 50. And it just keeps going. I mean, it's just a beautiful way of getting a collection all the way through. You have it with the new Firestorm, where is it a better image of him? The new one. I always thought he looked absolutely stupid. I thought it was a fur collar when I first saw it. I didn't know it was supposed to be fire. Am I the only one that thinks that? And if I wasn't, do you think it now? Because you probably do. He looked like a lion. Come on. But final issue 100. It even touched there. Final issue. And then you get the annuals. I'll go through these very quickly. Annual 1, annual number 2, number 3. I can stop shouting because my heat just kicked off. Number 4, and annual number 5. So, I mean, that's pretty damn cool to have that many issues in a row. I only got to get 2 issues, which I will probably end up going on eBay and just trying to find everything I'm missing out of these 3 boxes and just buy them before I have to go to C2E2, so I don't have to worry about it. But I haven't done that yet, so who knows. But finally in here, I do also have Our Man. I actually really enjoyed this series because the covers were done by Scott McDaniel, who did Nightwing and Daredevil and some Batman comics. But the interior artwork was done by Rags Morales, who did Batman and Nightwing. So really cool. And he did some Hawkman as well. So there's issue 1, issue 2. So pretty much the entire series except for issue number 3. because obviously after that I have number 4, and it just continues on. And I mean, I actually forgot how much I really enjoyed this series, and I forgot it brought back Snapper Carr. So it really brought back the roots of having a character from the JSA, such as Our Man, and a character from the JLA, which is Snapper Carr, in a series. See? It was Snapper Carr. Perfect timing. But I mean, I really just enjoyed this series, and they really went into the lineage of the characters. One of the series that I got, unfortunately, there's another series that had the lineage of JSA that I was not able to get. That is Starman. Someone else had already talked to him about those issues, so they were already sold when I came and saw him. And I'll just show you. Final issue, number 25. Time's up. But that is box number 1. We have 10 minutes from intro to here. Hopefully between the next 2 boxes we could do those both in 10 minutes. So, be right back with the next box. Alright, we are on box number 2 of this fantastic collection I just picked up. I know for most of you people, you're looking around going like, this is... there's no major keys. No, these are majority post-Christ on Infinite Earth books, but jumping in here, I did not realize I did not finish this one series that I love so much, and that is the Wally West Flash run. I have every issue up to 234 or 233 until now, and he happened to have every issue I was missing to complete the run. So as of right now, I have a complete Flash Volume 2 run, which is the first volume of Wally West. So call it how you will. But that 234, 235, 236, 237, 238, 239, 240, 241, 242, 243, 244, 245, 246, and I believe 247 is the final issue. So that completes my Wally West Flash run. Oh, that feels great. Because now I have the Tim Drake Volume 1 series complete. Wally West Volume 1. I'll just call this Volume 1 for Wally West, or Volume 2 for The Flash. Complete. That includes annuals and specials. I believe I do have the Iron Heights one shot. There could be, who knows, 1 or 2 issues I may not have, but there will probably be one shots. But I am so happy to have this. And then I have the Green Lantern Volume 2 series. That's the series that introduced Kyle Rayner, the one that had Emerald Dawn. I have JLA complete. Oh, Superman, I know, is pretty much complete. Batman should be complete from 404 to 501. Wonder Woman should be complete from like 1 through, I think, 150. I gotta check on Wonder Woman. She's been elusive to me. And I know that was kind of a rant, but I really need to think about that for a second. But I didn't need to think about this. Anyone who has read this series knows this is probably one of the greatest series that came out of the 80s. Denny O'Neil at his finest. I think this is his writing is better here than it was in anything he wrote in Batman. I think a lot of times the art kind of sold it more so. This really tells you his writing style was very film noirish, and working with Dennis Cowan, oh my god, they worked really well together. So this is issue number 1, but I did not just get issue number 1. I ended up getting every single issue of The Question in this deal. Every one of them is in fantastic shape. I don't believe they've ever been read. He said a lot of his books, he just ended up putting it in a box and putting it up just to know he had them. I mean, every single one perfect. And this was during the time of Green Arrow, when, oh my god, oh, hey, jeez, there he is right there, Green Arrow. This is during that time in which Mike Grell, that's who I was trying to remember, was doing Green Arrow. Which, by the way, I have every issue of Green Arrow. Pretty every single series Green Arrow has done, I have it. There might be, I think, the Convergence. I think there's 2 parts I don't have, but other than that, I have everything Green Arrow series out there. So, as far as I know, I could be wrong. And Black Canary don't count, so shut up. But this is during that time in which comics were starting to get darker. And, I mean, you would have found these kind of books back when comics first started, back in the back in the, like, what, 30s, 40s, before we had to have everything regulated. Hopefully I'm not making everything blurry, but just quickly running through it. But this series was so great because you really saw the deconstruction and redemption of a character. And I believe, where is it? There it is. Final issue. And then he had a couple of annuals. There he is with Lady Shiva. Crossover he did with Batman and Green Arrow. Now, something he threw in that I didn't know was there until I got home and was organizing things, because everything, again, was kind of chaotic. It was organized, but not organized. So you had short boxes, you had just regular boxes, and then there was one tote. So it was very weird, or hot. I wouldn't have been able to go through everything there. I went on a lot of faith. And my faith paid off because he threw in some really great stuff for no charge. I don't have every issue, but damn it, I have a really good run on Animal Man, which, if you guys have not read Animal Man, it is such a great series. Grant Morrison. This is really when we had the British invasion coming to Marvel. This is before Vertigo had their premiere line pop up with Karen Berger, I believe. But she was the one that brought all these guys over. And this was kind of a test with a lot of these books to see if they were able to capture the audience. And Animal Man definitely was one of them. And again, it's not every issue, but it's a good chunk. And I would definitely say to anyone out there who is an Animal Man fan, or just like books that, are just, a little bit, more mature, these are the series to, like, try and, maybe look for. You never know. I would definitely say, put your, I love these books. Open your mind to, weird characters, because they really do just have great stories to tell. This is probably the last Brian Bolland cover. No, it isn't. This is a Brian Bolland cover, I believe. So, but you can see that this is when things are starting to change as far as the lettering. But this is in the 50s, issue 51. I'm not sure if it ever really picked up the Vertigo title for Animal Man. Oh, it did. As you can see, it is now a Vertigo title. No longer written by Grant Morrison. It's written by Jamie Delano, but it is now part of the Vertigo line, which, in my eyes, it always was part of Vertigo. And I really want to finish this series. I have some of these issues already. So again, some of the books. Oh wow. Is this the full series? Gave me the entire Last Days of Animal Man series. Now this is from 2009. But let's go back. As you can see, you see the covers. I said it's going to take 10 minutes per box, or 10 minutes total per box. Well, we're almost at 10 minutes, so we are almost done with this. The only last one we have here. Come on. Even if it wasn't for the movie, I had to go with these. And this is the entire series. The one thing I did not get and he did not have, which is the Global Paramilitary Christmas Special. I want that so bad. So I'll probably look for that either online or when I get to C2E2. But entire series? Yeah. Then you get the sequel, Lobo's Back. Oh, 4 parts. And then Lobo and Festicide. Is that a 4-parter? Or more. 4-part series. Now, before I go to the next one, which is should be the 2 last series to show you before we end this, or go to the next box, is my love for these characters. I know that these characters don't get the love they deserve, but I love the Legion of Superheroes, so I had to pick up any Tales of the Legion of Superheroes that he had, because I didn't have any. When you're replacing a collection, you don't remember the books you have, but I did remember I didn't have all of these, so I'm probably missing maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 issues within that series. And that Tales of the Legion of Superheroes is actually a continuation of Legion of Superheroes after 313, I believe. 314 may have continued on, which I'm not sure. I think it's the issue before this. It officially becomes Tales of the Legion of Superheroes, sorry. But I am such a fan, I had to pick these up. And the story in these are great because you see them on different worlds. And then you truly get to see imagination play its part in comic books. When everything's on Earth, you're kind of regulated to the restraints of Earth. No matter what, you are within that restraint. So I love the Legion because you got aliens, so anything is possible. Now, another thing I got from him, Legion of Superheroes related, Legion Lost, the entire 12-part series. So I love having these. I never had this full series before, so to be able to have it is great because it does obviously lead into the another Legion of Superheroes series. I gotta go and look at my collection of Legion of Superheroes because I really do want to complete the runs on a lot of them. Some I started. I know Legionnaires I never started. I need to do those, but anything around that time I need to get. Hint, hint on anyone who has kind of comics and adventure comics. Again, I am not rich by any means, but if you have some adventure comics that are Legion of Superheroes based, who knows? Maybe I could be interested in buying them in sets, depending on what you have. I might be able to buy them all. But again, I'm going to go ahead and cut and get next to the last box, and then we'll let you guys go and get yourself prepared for C2E2. Alright guys, I'm going to try and get through this quick because my battery is going to die. So, jumping into the next part, we have 2 comic books right here. Before you guys start to freak out and go, oh my god, they are not originals. If you look up here, Modern Comics, these are basically their version of a facsimile of an original comic. So, this is basically a reprint of the first appearance of the Question. But it's still worth, some good money, but the originals are worth triple digits. I don't have that money for that. And he didn't have them, thankfully, because I would have been tempted. But he also had, again, love the way this looks in this bag and board. This is a facsimile or a second printing. I don't know how to say it. I'll just say the Modern Comics first appearance of Ted Kord as Blue Beetle. So you have first appearance of Blue Beetle, first appearance of the question. Yay! There. Hopefully one of these days I'll be able to afford to add them to my collection, but I don't think I will. No, I did end up getting the entire collection of Captain Atom. That includes every annual, so I do have those in here. Just to randomly show you, I believe it's like 57 issues. Where is it? 57 issues, so there's your final issue. There were 2 annuals. He was always fighting, oh my god, I can't believe, Major Force. He was always fighting Major Force. The second annual. He also had some Blue Beetle. Hopefully it don't fall. If it does, I'll be hella pissed. But this isn't the entire collection of Blue Beetle. It's missing issue 16, 19, and 21. Other than that, I have every issue of Blue Beetle in here. So happy to have this. This is obviously a true post-crisis series. Legends really gives you that nod right there, because that's the next time he appeared, and then he became a member of Justice League. So very happy. Love anything with the Titans. I am a big fan. The Teen Titans is my all-time favorite comic book team. Dick Grayson is my all-time favorite comic book character. I don't care what anyone else says. And if you want to, I'll fight you for it. I won't, but I'll get someone bigger than me and I'll make them fight you for it. That's how I roll, people. I pay other people to take the punches. I love this stuff. This is, again, my childhood. This is stuff I remember when I was going to the comic book store. Millennium tie-in. This is when also everything was a tie-in. It's really kind of annoying. It didn't matter, really. Most of the time it had absolutely nothing to do with it. Love this. Included the secret origins of the Blue Beetle in here. So, final issue of the Blue Beetle. The final adventure. It really wasn't. He continued on in Justice League International, I guess, by that point. Maybe not. I don't know. But, it should have been. But then you have this where you get the origin of both Blue Beetles. If you hear other people, that's just because people just don't understand what it means when they say you're filming. I'm almost done now, so I have also Blue Devil. Hopefully you guys are seeing this properly. Let me just move the camera. I always hate having to move the camera because I always feared losing everything. But Blue Devil #1, so we have that one. I'm only missing, I believe, like, what, handful of, in that one too, like, actually issues 28, 29, 30, and 31. Because for some reason, I thought issue 27 was the final issue, so I just grabbed those issues, like, from 1 to 27. I never even saw, like, anything past it, so I don't know if he had them, or I just didn't see it, or I thought I was a duplicate. I could be very stupid sometimes when it comes to this stuff, but I was very surprised when I found out that I didn't have a complete collection. And when you're sitting around, thinking you have it, and then you find out kind of an iconic cover, obviously, showcase, spoofing in a way my favorite character, Robin the Boy Wonder, aka Dick Grayson. I don't care what y'all say, I love Dick Grayson. But, and again, proof that this is a pre-crisis series. There you go. Does it matter? No, I don't believe it does. I really don't. I owned this issue as a kid, and I thought this was a horrible book, so I never read the comic again after it. Not knowing, the book was actually very good. It's just a crossover that kind of threw everything off. So it's like I never read anything about Kid Devil or anything else. And then once I did know about them, they were actually changing and retooling the character anyway. Fighting Firestorm, one of my favorite 80s characters. Make sure, okay. Number 24, 25, number 26. And I thought this was the final issue. It is not. There's still like 4 more issues I need. So I need number 28, 29, 30, and 31. Because I have the only annual they did, which is this one right here. Which is kind of... I don't even know if this is worth anything, but it's Blue Devil with the Demon, Man-Bat, Phantom Stranger, and I think it's Black Orchid and the Creeper. So, hey, who knows? But I have this, which is Booster Gold. Another series which is not complete, but it is so close, it's so scary. I'm missing issues 2, 4, and 7. Otherwise, I'd have a complete collection of Booster Gold. And I am so ready to finish this series off, because I've been wanting to finish this volume 1, because I also have some of the new 52. I believe that's the new 52 run. I want to finish that one as well, because it's one of the few things that came out of the new 52 that I really liked. But again, every issue except for 2, 4, and 7, if I have to, I'll just order, go through eBay and find them. I have a bunch of stuff already in my cart. I held off to hopefully find them at my LCS, but if you guys notice, LCSs don't carry a lot of older books anymore past the like early 2000s. You ask them for something from the 80s or 90s, they look at you like you lost your damn mind. But to end it, there it is, the last issue of Booster Gold. So that is end of part 1 of my Road to C2E2, my $600 comic book collection haul. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully you guys will be back for part 2. Let me know if you guys are going to C2E2, just as I said. I will be there myself. As I said, I'm going to go on Saturday. Hopefully you guys will go there as well. And until then, guys, remember, here at Pitchfork Drama, it is everything in entertainment. I am your host, Sean, your video and comic guru. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Yeah, I gotta get up now. Give me that